Welcome to Bigeye. In this video, I'm going to walk through the metric page. A metric is a configurable rule associated with a table or column that tracks results over time. When thresholds are set on a metric, users will be alerted if anomalies occur. The metric page is available after a metric has been created and is used to review and manage a metric. It can be accessed by selecting the metric from its associated column, table, schema, or source metrics tabs. In this case, I am in the orders table on the metrics tab, and I want to go into my variance unit price metric. In the metric page, I'm going to touch on the useful features to the top and right of the metric page, then get to the metric tabs here in the middle afterwards. At the top of the metric page are selectable breadcrumbs. These can be used to navigate back to the column, table, schema, or source pages associated with this metric. Below the breadcrumbs is the metric name, a star that can be used to favorite or unfavorite the metric, and a health indicator. The health indicator has three states: healthy, alerting, or failed. A metric is healthy if the most recent metric run is within expected threshold bounds, alerting if the most recent metric run is outside of expected threshold bounds, or failed if the metric failed to run for a given reason. To the right of the breadcrumbs are the Edit and Actions buttons. Selecting the Edit button will bring up the Edit Metric panel, which can be used to view and edit metric configuration details. Users can progress through the Overview, Configuration, Thresholds, and Notifications tabs to change corresponding configuration inputs as needed. Note that threshold history will be lost if the metric threshold type is changed on the Thresholds tab. The buttons at the bottom of the panel let you save your changes, cancel changes, or delete the metric, respectively. The Actions button can be used to refresh, mute, backfill, or delete a metric. Refreshing a metric will trigger a metric run to get an updated value. This value will show up in the Chart and Runs tabs, respectively. Muting a metric will disable notifications for alerts for the chosen period of time. If a metric is muted, the unmute option can be found under the Actions button as well. Backfilling a metric will trigger a historical backfill of data that will show up in the Chart tab. The default backfill is 22 days, and post hoc threshold analysis will be available if the associated advanced setting is turned on. Deleting a metric will permanently delete the metric. The user will be prompted to confirm their action. Since this metric was created using BigConfig, users are not able to delete the metric via the UI. It will have to be deleted in BigConfig itself. Hanging over here to the right of the metric page is a collapsible metric overview pane. This pane gives users a quick view of important metric details like metric name, description, configuration details, associated collections, and a list of any open issues and their current issue states. You can select the collection names or issue numbers in this page to navigate to the corresponding collection or issue as needed. The default metric page tab is the Chart tab. The Chart tab visualizes present and historical metric run values. The gray band on the chart designates the metric threshold bounds, if threshold bounds have been configured. Users can hover over a value on the chart to see the run date, the upper bound, the observed value, and the lower bound. An alerting value occurs if a value falls outside of the threshold bounds and will show up red in the chart like this one. In the top right of the chart, you can filter to show 30 days, 90 days, or all historical values. The Issues tab will show all current and historical issues for this metric. Users can filter or view their issues by various dimensions using the Filter By and View By buttons, respectively. Users can select an issue to go to the corresponding issue page, or select the ellipses to the right of an issue to quickly update the status of an issue, mute the issue, or refresh the current message. Users can also surface the ellipses functionality by selecting an issue to the left of the issue. Selecting issues in bulk is a good way to bulk update issue statuses, or bulk mute issues as needed. Every metric run this metric performs will show up on the Runs tab. Every entry in the tab shows the status of the run, when the run value was collected, the lower threshold bound, the actual value for the run, and the upper threshold bound. If a metric run value has an unhealthy status, or if a healthy metric run should have alerted, it is recommended to provide feedback using the true or false buttons. For auto thresholds, this helps train the threshold bounds. The Debug Query tab can be useful to utilize if a metric is alerting or a user wants to review how the current metric run value was obtained. The Metric Query sequel shows the query that Bigeye used to obtain the most recent metric value. When available, the Debug Query provides direction to help troubleshoot issues on a user's source. Debug Query is only available for alerting metrics that have the identification format, financial, contact information, duplicate, and distinct metric types. The Debug Query section will have a debug SQL script and an option to preview up to 30 rows returned by the script using Bigeye. Note that Bigeye does not persist this source data, and users can turn off the preview functionality as desired. This concludes the Bigeye metric page walkthrough. Thank you for watching this video.